Alrighty, are we live? Yes, we are. You know, the world is an amazing place. And there's always stuff going on every day of the year. But sometimes it's good to just relax and just reflect and hang out. And that's what we're going to do tonight with Mr. Color Up himself, Jeremy.
Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. Whether you're a seasoned player or a beginner eager to step up to the table, this is your lucky podcast that's all about the thrill and strategy of the casino world. I'm your host, Jeremy. With me is Jim the Professor. Let's get rolling. That was a kind way of putting Jeremy did no prep for the show.
No topic. No topic. No topic tonight. No, we got a little bit of something to talk about, but
yeah.
I don't know if it's a big thing.
Yeah, we don't have like a theme for the show, so definitely you in the comments shoot out things. We got Merv, member for 36 months. Thank you very much. Probably got his pen.
No
Shoes
Ken.
Luck in here.
Yeah. No Shoes Ken.
No Shoes is here.
Yeah.
Canadian friends.
Yeah. Green Day.
Shep.
Woo. From all the way across the pond. That is absolutely amazing. Good evening.
Yeah, we haven't caught him in here in a while.
Yeah. So awesome to see all our friends popping in there.
We'll see so this week, I mean, you're not an eligible bachelor, but I guess you're kind of like a bachelor.
No, I think the term is, they say I'm batching it.
Okay.
Because Bonnie Boo is off across the pond, and she's in Portugal with her best buddy and travel friend, Anne, and they are bouncing around Portugal right now. And she left last Wednesday and won't be back till her birthday late to Thursday night, March 5th. So,
okay.
Yeah, I guarantee you, though, Bonnie is not watching this or listening to this. I think it's 5 hours ahead. But yeah, 5 hours ahead, I think, is where she's at. So.
Yeah, well, if Green Day could be in here, then she could be in here.
I know, but
she's probably,
after walking all day, I think she...
A little more interesting things than listen to us jokers.
I spoke to her earlier, and she had walked like 7 miles on cobblestone streets uphill or whatever, so...
Yeah, there you go.
I guarantee you she's out, yeah.
So, I got off a cruise this week. I'm home for a couple days. I'm trying to finish and schedule out some videos, and then tomorrow I'm going to Texas to handle just to help with family things there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you still hear the music?
I do not, but
no, I hear it. I don't know if anybody else can. It's the Color Up theme, but
okay, it's probably bleeding through on one of the
maybe.
back channels or something.
But anyway, so how was the cruise? Talk about the cruise a little bit. Did you?
Yeah, sure.
Play or?
Yeah, you keep an eye on the comments then.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on the comments. You talk.
I did play, but not much. So people will probably be disappointed in that a little bit. I went. It was a 6-night cruise, I think.
Okay.
We went to Cabo, Ensenada. Oh, that was it. Yeah, because it was overnight in Cabo.
Only 2 ports?
Right, but we stayed in Cabo for 2 days. So.
Oh, wow. So could you do it 24/7, get off and on?
You could. They do. It was tendered in, so you have to ride the boats, but they closed it like it. They're like, hey, if you want to get on this, if you want to sleep on the ship, you have to be in at like 12:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And then they didn't open the door back up till like 6 a.m. So, okay. I mean, if you wanted to sleep on the beach or hotel, you were more than welcome to. Okay. We just got back on and ate dinner and did the normal thing. So, the cruise was great. It was beautiful. There was some unrest there's some news that was happening there. And so we were getting some notifications, but where we were at, I think they called it like stage 3, but I mean, we walked actually pretty deep into Ensenada and just great people. Very,
mm-hmm. Lots of fun.
Food, and fun. And my son went with me, my dealer's son, and he wanted to go to a specific little, we try to find local restaurants or whatever, and we found it. It was way off the beaten path. Like, But it was good, and they liked it. And
did you go to any casinos on land?
no, not on land. I've been there before.
I remember you said once before. It might have been on the cruise we went on last year. You were talking about.
I don't think they have a craps table, but they have a couple table games. But they're like only on the weekends or nights or something like that.
Okay.
So we heard the background music too. Okay, well it's gone now. So my session of playing, I don't know if it was the first night or the second night.
Okay.
There were a couple of friendlies on the ship, meaning people that recognized me and said hi. That was cool. And I didn't really have a plan. I don't really need points, and they reset on April 1st for the Royal Caribbean, whatever you call it, tier system, whatever. So I don't need points. So I was kind of playing for fun. Didn't really have a plan. Didn't need a bet heavy or big, or so I wasn't going to like do some major hedge thing.
Mm-hmm. So
I did what I normally did when I'm just kind of piddling around, which was like a 6-8, couple come bets, see what happens. And then every once in a while, I'll add like a field bet with my come bet.
Okay.
Just so it'll either pay me or it'll hedge the come bet, because it loses on the 2, 3, and 12. Mm-hmm. Worst case scenario, I roll a 5, lose the field, but the come bet goes to the 5, and I got a great bet on a great number.
Or it could go to the 4, and you can use the odds.
I would use the payoff in the field as odds. That's what I do a lot of times.
Okay.
So I dabble in the field every once in a while, not much. But there was this weird situation. My whole session was 2 hours.
Okay.
Of kind of playing this way.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end, because I didn't play too much longer after this happened, was I made a $15 come bet.
Okay.
And the shooter, actually, I think the shooter was my son, but he threw the dice and knocked over my little stack of chips.
Okay.
And so they were kind of spread out, and one was in the field. The other 2 were knocked over in the come, right?
So it's simple. You just stack all 3 on the come bet, right?
Simple.
All right.
So the dealer, which was new, he had some issues with some other things, which I don't.
You're not dogpiling.
Yeah, I'm not dogpiling on the dealer. They're fine, especially the new guys. They got to learn at some point. Mm-hmm. But the supervisor was like, the dealer's like, hey, what do I do? And the dealer's like, sweep his field bet, and then you take his come bet and move it up to the 8, because it was an 8 that rolled. I said, what are you saying? That was a $15 come bet.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, you've been betting $10 come bets and sometimes $10 field bets.
Oh, my goodness.
And I said, okay, that is true, but this is a $15 come bet. And he goes, yeah, but I think you made a field bet. I'm like, if that is the case, I have a $10 come bet and a $5 field bet. That's not a valid bet. That doesn't meet the table minimum.
That's right.
He goes, well, it was a bet on the table, so we're sweeping. I'm like, so I can make $5 field bets now? Is that a thing? I said, if I make an improper bet, don't you just push it back? Like, it has to meet table minimum. It's not a legal bet. I said,
only if it loses, huh?
Right. So that's what I was saying. I'm like, I'm like, if I can't make $5 bets, how can you take it as a loss? And he goes, well, because you put it on the table. I'm like, okay, for one, I didn't. I made a $15 bet because I was trying to build up the come bets a little bigger to hedge a little, build up the bets. And I'm like, so either it's a $50 come bet or it's a $10 come bet and a $5 invalid bet. But there's in no situation can you take it as a losing bet. And he finally was like, you know what, fine, just give him a $15 come bet. And I'm like, it's pretty simple. Oh my
gosh, I thought you were going to be one of these, hey, check the cameras.
No, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, it is annoying. I felt annoyed at the moment, like I'm making a fuss about $5, which I don't really care about the $5. I'm like, but you can't just take money that's not, it's either a bet
Or it's
you
not
can't,
a bet.
or it's not. Like, I don't, like, I'm like, cool, then I'm going to start making $5 bets. And he's like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, then how can you take it? So I don't know. Maybe that's some sort of unwritten rule that I have never heard of in my life, that they will, well, if you bet under and it's invalid, doesn't meet table minimum. If like you said, if it wins, we're not going to pay it because it's not a valid bet. But if it loses, hey, we're going to sweep it because you had it on the table.
And
so,
this is the pit boss, not the box guy or whatever. Or
yeah, he was kind of running both.
Okay.
You know how they sometimes do that. So I couldn't go any higher than him unless I said, check the cameras and bring someone else. And again, it's only a stupid $5. But I'm like, this is literally insane. Like, if it was like, I don't know, some other thing other than just taking money.
Were you in his landing zone? Is that what this is about? Your son's a dice
No. He just, his arm, I was next to him.
Beside you. Okay.
Yeah, he was beside me, and my comeback's kind of close.
From the other end. Okay.
No. His just hand went like that and hit them.
He's a low roller.
Yeah, and
keeping it low.
But either it's an invalid bet, or it's like I said and made it was a $50 come bet. But in no world
universe
that I know of do you just take it and say, well, tough luck on you. You should have.
Well, yeah, that's kind of strange. But did you end up coloring up that night in the session, or
no?
Was there negative mojo?
It was, yeah. I mean, that was towards the end, but I lost. Well, actually, on him, the shooter, Jared, my son, did really well. So I think I won like $100 and some. I ended up down $50 after 2 hours, and I was like, you know what? The mojo's the mood sucks here. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm down $50. I don't need the points. I'm not going to play, and I just didn't play for the rest of the trip. I'm like, why bother? Like,
how'd your son do? Did he do all right, or?
Well, that particular one, he came in for like two players. I think he made a couple $100 real quick, and most of it was on his own roll. But yeah, he was like, I'll be done too. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I just don't. It was just and I hate making a fuss about it, but it was a very weird. I hadn't seen that before. We're like, well, I think you meant to do a $5 field bet, and we're going to sweep it because it lost. Like, casino ABC, always be collecting. Yeah,
always. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll try if they can, but I just didn't understand why there was an argument. He should have just said, okay, it's a $50 bet, or just say, you know what, it's only a $10 come bet, $10 moves, and just push back to $5. Not like, we're going to keep that. We're going to lock that up.
Yeah. Yeah, the short roll doesn't hit the back wall, but they're going to, sweep it anyway. Yeah, but if it wins,
most of the ships have gotten better at that, where it is consistent at least. It's not like a judgment call. It's like they either hit the wall or it's called a no roll, good or bad. And I've had it work out plenty of times where it was no roll on the 7. So,
all right.
I don't know. I don't believe that they're in a big conspiracy to. At least dealers aren't, right, and stick people aren't in a big conspiracy to take your money because they don't get it. The casino, now management is a whole nother thing. But it was just a weird little situation that annoyed me. And I'm like, I don't need this. So I didn't bother playing. But I did book another cruise soon after April. It's available to my club members, that information, and I will be going early in April, and we'll try to, get a bunch of points to do it over again. Are you
using your Prime cruise for that one, or you say
no?
Is just a regular?
This is just a simple little offer that I get all the time in the email. So,
all right.
Yeah, we'll try to use the annual Prime certificate on something exotic that I could never, at my play level, I could never earn enough points for. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably go to Europe or something with it, which is a great deal. It just
especially with your
with my setup, where I'm
situation.
The airfare is just pay taxes and stuff. It's super
out of the
cheap.
Equation. Yeah, that's awesome. So congratulations on that. Yeah, and we did have one other little topic-y thing to talk about. There was a conviction across the pond, and maybe Green Day has heard of that. Let me see if I can find the.
I do want to throw in there Top Hat. He's my
yes.
What do you call him? Moderator? My head moderator. over on my community Discord. He said he had a similar reaction in Reno, and the pit boss saw him and reversed it. Yeah.
And I don't think I'm talking out of school, but I want to I think it's great that Top Hat is back at it, commenting on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So good job.
Yeah,
Top
for those
Hat.
that know his situation, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't
So that's
know how much
awesome.
we share publicly, but
Yeah.
and skill and luck. Yeah, most players would have never really seen it. So that is one of those things. Like the more knowledge you have about the game, it's good because little things like this pop up, and I think you should call them on it and get it corrected. And
Well, that's a good.
what's
it's
fair
a
is
good win
fair.
for you. Yeah, it's a good win for you. I mean, you save $5. I mean, you might have lost $55 instead of $50. And
yeah. Really make me feel like a jerk for pausing the table and stuff. But it was so weird.
Yeah, it's just like conversation.
Well, what do I
you
do,
don't want to
Jim?
get into? No.
Like, what do I do? Just like, okay, fine, just say nothing and let them steal the money, which is not a bet. It makes no sense.
You got to get out there.
You have to say something, but
100% on that one. But let me see if I can pull. No, not this one. Daggone it, not that one.
Oh, Top Hat did say he doesn't mind. He went blind, could not participate, had to step back, and he had a successful surgery, and he's back, baby. He says.
Yeah, he's back.
And I think I meant to ask him. He had one eye done because they were going to do surgeries at different times, and he might get. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was going to get the other eye done as well. Maybe I don't remember.
I will have to wait for his comment. All I know is he was in bad shape, and
he
needed.
He got some improvement.
Yeah, he got some improvement. Yeah. So here it is. Here, let's see if I can go to now. Let me get over here, and I apologize, everybody.
You should.
Yeah, because it's not like I'm on Joe Rogan and I can holler out his buddy's name. Hey, pull it up.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Nobody to pull up stuff yet. All right, so here we go. And which one's the share screen thing or share tab?
Presenter
invite. No, is that right? Present.
Yeah, that's it.
And then.
Well, I could bring up something while you're trying to fiddle around with some little news story. One of the news stories we're talking about, and I can probably, and not a lot of people know this maybe, but we were having this discussion a little bit,
here we go.
is that Caesars Properties is considering or taking offers, I guess.
Yes.
Would you say is that appropriate?
Yeah. They've gone down, and I think 73% over the last 5 years, their stock price. And there is a group of management team that's thinking about putting together a bid and just taking it off the other people's hands and going from there. So all of Caesars 51.
Oops, I don't want to show that yet. I didn't want to show that yet, but
okay, I don't know what that one was, but I missed it.
No. So anyway, a lot of people. So they're fielding offers. And some people don't know that El Dorado, which is just a little casino in Reno, Nevada, had actually bought out Caesars Properties a few years ago.
Is that sharing the screen?
It is.
Okay.
I can remove it until you're ready for it if you're not.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't the right one anyway.
Yeah.
That was the one you were talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, and so the Reno El Dorado bought out Caesars property. Like, they bought out all these properties on the Las Vegas Strip and elsewhere. But so what a lot of people don't know, and I guess I could show that, is the owners of these casinos and who operates them are usually two very different things. So it's a little bit confusing. And I guess I can kind of scroll through some of this report. But for instance, all the MGM properties,
yes,
almost all of them are owned by someone else. So what I'm talking about owned by is the land, and then these big beautiful buildings and hotels.
Yeah, physical building, yeah.
Yeah, there's an interesting article here. But like Vicky Properties owns a lot of them, but who operates the casino is actually MGM Resorts. And that's usually the case for, I don't think MGM Resorts owns any of their actual, like Blackstone, we've heard of those. Mm-hmm. Now, when you come to Caesars, they're a mixed bag. Some of them, they actually own the property and building and hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, and they operate the actual casino. Caesars, the famous Caesars, that is one I don't believe they actually own. I know there's a couple that they do, but I have to refresh my memory with the article. But so a lot of them, they don't own the property and land. Some of them, they do own both the property and the operational side of it. So when they sell it, it will be interesting to see if they break apart the land or if it's just the operations. But sometimes when you think, oh, I'm going to such and such, it's actually owned by someone else. It's just operated by,
right.
MGM. So, which is what most players only care about. Hey, where does my rewards card work? Is this an MGM
right.
or is this a Caesars property?
Yeah, and really, it's not. It's definitely not.
Yeah,
it's managed by the casino is.
Right, right. So, that really doesn't come into play for us unless you're like investing in their stock and stuff, which is a big deal. That kind of behind the scenes stuff is important for that.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. But I don't know, just a little tidbit. I don't think a lot of people know. You think, oh, Caesars, they own like 6 properties. Well, actually, no, they don't own any of them, or they only own half of them. They just operate the casino part of it.
Very good.
Kind of like a landlord-tenant situation almost.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to do slides. No. Image file? No. Slides, PDF. What? I go to present screen, present invite, and then I do what? Share screen is what I'm
You should be able to click your tab or share screen. Or let's see. I'll bring up some of these. Casino executives making short-sighted moves to pad their paychecks. Never give up the land. Look at McDonald's. Exactly. At some point.
That's what I said when we were talking before the show. Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because McDonald's is like one of the biggest landowners, right? Because they they gobble them up. I know. Right, the convenient what are they called? Drug convenience stores are a big property. You always go into every town and they own like the premier spot on the corner of every town, like the CVS and the Walgreens. Like they're property owners, not necessarily. That's a big part of the business. There's a great video called Battle for Las Vegas that breaks down the confusing. Yeah, I've seen that video. That's actually a good one.
Okay. We'll have to check that one out. Present or invite. How come I don't see one that says stop screen? Or maybe I was presenting.
Yeah, you were presenting. So.
I'm a bozo.
Skill Luck said, are we going to have a player-owned casino start pulling money? I looked into that at one point, and obviously you can get investors and do anything, right, if you're a good enough salesman. Right. But I looked at, okay, what if I opened up a Color Up Club and just had like one table? And like there's minimums that you're required to do. I think like you have to be able to fund and have like $1 million on the table. Mm-hmm. But for every like million you have, and my numbers are probably off because it's been a couple years, but for every million you have to have like 10 million behind to be able to, so they can approve your
you gotta have
your
some
license, assets,
some bank.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big ratio, like 10 to 1. You're like, I'm only going to put $300,000 on the table, or it's a low limit table, or whatever it is. But it's like then you still have to have $1 million just to operate the table, and then you have to have like 10 million, in some sort of proof that you can cover and stuff. So it's a very expensive game to get into for just one. So my dream kind of died a long time ago.
You won't have your own casino.
No, I don't think so, because it's big money to kind of get into that. But not even a casino, just a club with one table. I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool to have one table. I mean, I guess you could do something like Casino Quest and have, not real money tables and just for fun. But
so this was the one Jeremy sent to me earlier in the week. Insane moment: driver crashes while gambling on the phone, sending pregnant victim into the emergency C-section. So this guy over here, let me go back to the actual article, and it's right here. This guy right here, Jack Bentley, is across the pond driving a Ford Focus, and he slammed into a line of stationary cars, and he messed up this pregnant
had a
woman.
lack of focus.
Yeah, lack of focus. He was totally just engaged in his phone, and he was playing apps, and he was also gambling. Now,
Yeah.
Jeremy and I thought it'd be cool to find out what game he was playing. And I Googled and looked, and I checked court records. Not court records. I couldn't get any from across the pond, but stories, and they quoted the judge and the prosecutors and everything, but I could not find out what games he was playing. But they said he was gambling and he was playing games on his phone, and it was for a long time too, because he had
they said
off the road a couple times.
Yeah, they said he had swerved multiple times and stuff, and it was, I don't.
It was a
I
bad
forget
deal.
what it was. It 30 minutes or something? They said he was probably distracted driving, or they looked at his phone record.
Yes, so it was pretty bad. So yeah, he was not a good guy. And
so
irony, he was a prisoner guard. He was a prison guard before that and lost his job.
Yeah, so his buddies will be keeping an eye on him as he goes back to jail, right? Just not as an employee.
I don't know about that. He might not be able to. It might be a different kind of prison or something. I don't know, but hopefully it's not. But yeah, you got to be careful on those things. And really, it could have been a commercial for Tesla full service driving, because if he would have been on a Tesla, he wouldn't have had to worry about it. The Tesla would have slowed.
I guess
right on
so.
up for him, yeah.
And obviously, it wasn't a good commercial for the casino or whatever, because there was no mention of their name.
Yeah, and that's probably why, because they probably wrote some checks and said, "Hey."
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, don't mention us. Like, we don't need to know that it was, Stake or some social casino or MGM online or whatever it is."
Yeah, Candy Crush or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, it was pretty specific that he was gambling, so.
Yeah, it did, but it also said he was playing games too, because he was engaged. They got his cell phone data, and he was just like the whole time he was messing with his phone, and that was pretty wild. Anyway, I just thought that one was an interesting one there.
Just outrageous, yeah,
pretty bad. But I'm glad nobody was killed. But the baby was born early, and it was in the hospital for weeks or months there. But go ahead.
I was just. It made me think of online. I don't know if you saw this.
What's that?
But the Plaza Hotel here in Las Vegas has started streaming a streaming.
Yes, I saw
channel.
That. I saw that on X. As I was driving my Tesla. No, I saw that on X, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I didn't see where there's craps. But you can go in there, and there's blackjack, and I think in roulette. Was that it?
Yeah, I saw one article that said craps on request.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if other people can. Well, according to some of the videos, you can.
No, I
here they're actually live.
Article, yeah, go ahead and pop.
They have certain hours that they're live. Let's see. Let me just pull this up. If it'll actually play. And some of the views are different than others, but they live stream certain tables. I guess there's a certain area of the room. Let me back up.
Yeah.
There's kind of like a behind the scenes. Looks like a guy's playing baccarat, but he had his phone set up. Oh, that's
I recognize
Vegas
that guy.
Paulie C.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, you can go in there and live stream. So like you could go in there and do a color up thing, and if you want to make a short or something, or I could go in there and do a Facebook thing or something. I don't know, or anybody could go in there.
Yeah, they have cameras set up, but they're now live. Let me click on the live button. They're live streaming the action going on. This is not tape delay. This is live, and they have certain hours that they do and don't do. It's funny, they have 500 subscribers and 15 people are watching, so they need some marketing help.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might do that. I know I did recently just get an invitation from MGM. They're doing a similar thing where they're having a private salon room.
Okay.
The only thing is they're catering in it, so I don't know why I got the invite, but they're catering it. They're calling it a high roller room, so they want high limit action. But the individuals can't stream. What happens is the email said, "Hey, we have a professional setup. We do all the filming of the action of you, whatever you want, and then once your session's over, we give you the footage, to edit and do whatever you want." But the reason I'm bringing this up is it's starting to happen, I think, and this is one of those things that I've always wanted to do, was find a partner that will basically do what we're looking at right now. I think they're easing into it, because a lot of these rooms, and last week I visited the Venetian hotel where they're doing a similar thing.
Okay.
Again, my problem there is they're like, we don't want a $10 better. We want, $100 better. I'm like, okay, that gets pretty expensive on crap. So I think I'll have to pass.
Yes, but if you were $100 better and you had your own YouTube channel or whatever, like Vegas Matt,
come on in. Yeah.
Come on in.
So they're starting to open up, but what they do is, so they have these kind of rooms off the side, usually salon, and they usually have to have a separate salon license, because you have security involved, and you have to get permission from the Vegas board of whatever, right? But with this, they could do whatever they want. But so when people enter, then you usually have to sign, "Hey, I'm okay that I realize I'm being filmed. I'm not going to sue you. Blah blah blah. You own the rights." And so they're kind of creating this chokehold where you can go into these rooms, and that's how they get around it, of just streaming and showing everybody. So I've wanted to do this for so long and kind of present it as a sport. This is kind of lame, though. They just kind of bounce around from camera to camera.
They're not like sticking with one game.
You don't get to see the people and the interaction and all that stuff. So I don't know that this particular channel is going to do that great, but it is kind of cool. It's like the little chip in the
arm.
That it's going to happen at some point where it'll just be common to film in casinos, and I think that'll be cool and good for everyone. Like, this would be a cool view to see if they'd stuck on this for a while. So I imagine they have it on an automated thing instead of actually maybe they have a producer who's switching between them, but I'd rather see this guy bet.
And see.
Okay, well, we got a close-up. Here we go.
Okay, let's see. Live action. Let me take you to the plaza in Vegas right now, where Mr. Redshirt likes red.
Yeah, I don't know, because of all the things we got going on. I don't know if there's audio attached to this or if it's silent.
Well, I can hear the audio.
Can you?
Yeah. How about you guys on the internet? Can you guys on YouTube and Facebook, can y'all hear the audio? Yeah, he's talking. Let me see if anybody will comment.
I don't know what feed that's coming through then. That's interesting. I don't even know how to control that. It must be.
Yeah, I hear the ping going on in the thing.
Okay. Well, there we go. Since we're doing a podcast, I should probably mute it, but nonetheless. Okay, well, there might be a real person selecting, because we're getting to see a little bit of the action.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Somebody said it's not that loud, but yeah, you can hear it if we're not talking. You can hear it pretty good. But I actually heard the ping of it, and then
that is indeed single zero.
Yeah, he said I could hear them talking. Yeah, single zero roulette. Yeah, Joe, 100%.
Yeah, the plaza is kind of known for this. There are casinos here in town that have a single zero, but it's usually at least $100 minimum. And the Plaza's famous for having a single zero at only $25. I know our European friends are probably laughing at that because that's their standard game.
That's the regular
over there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for us, it's 00 or now 000.
Yeah.
But yeah, single zero is a significant drop in the house edge. Puts it like
a lot of
below
us get
2%.
over there to play at DiceCon anyway, so maybe we'll get a few people to bop into the room or something and play.
Yeah, I haven't been over there to check it out, but it's an interesting
25.
concept, and I'm glad they're being proactive about it. So
35. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Absolutely.
I mean, I guess I'll just leave that up. Why not?
Yeah. You can leave it on mute there, and we can kind of follow along.
Let's see, I'll try to go. No.
Yeah, they got guys playing slots.
I'll go full screen. How do I?
Oh my gosh, he won 20.
Trying to hide the comments. There he goes. He's winning. Maybe that's why the camera cut to him. Yeah, there must be a live person cutting these cameras, but
it could be AI though. You never know. Yeah, it could be AI.
I'm looking for some questions in the comments because I know we're not themed. We don't have topics.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out, but I don't know how entertaining it is for you to watch online at the Plaza while we're
talking about something.
We're all just watching
different.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we can see. But yeah, somebody said only 113 days till DiceCon for your club members, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we got the official jerseys out there in public.
I ordered mine.
Okay, I need to get on mine. Did you order the blue one, the white one, or did you go with crazy?
No,
we did a theme of because this year is the
America 255th
birthday. So we're like, it's got to be red, white, and blue themed.
Yes. So I went with the blue one because my wife twisted my arm, but I really like the white one, so I'm thinking about getting both of those, which is pretty cool. I might get two. But the white one, I said, if I wear it for a couple, 3 days in Vegas, it's going to get dirty.
Yeah.
So
but it'll be much cooler, though.
Yeah.
Blue, I think.
I think all right, you talk me into it. I'm getting both. I'm going for both. Definitely.
This is a good question, actually.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what he means by this. Do you guys still do a podcast? Because we're not doing a podcast, but maybe he means official podcast.
No. Because I was going to ask you about that. It hadn't been updated in a while. Yeah.
No, so a little behind the scenes footage, because you're my people, right? I'm in a little bit of a stalemate with my sponsor, Sports Grid.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a new sponsorship in place. And I'm working for free, sending them TV episodes. But with the podcast, they took care of it, distributed and all that. It's something I could do myself, but they wanted it and we're using
Part
it.
of their umbrella or whatever. Yeah.
So I have them all. I just haven't been giving them to post because I'm like, hey, until this gets done, like, I'm at least not giving you the podcast. So that's where the podcast is. So no, it hasn't been updated. I think I have like at least maybe 10 episodes that are stacked up. Until I hear some better news, I don't know. I'm thinking either. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to them to it for a little bit. So you can always check them. They're always here on my YouTube channel. If you click under the live tab, you can always check either them out live or you can watch them archived. But on, which is more convenient for a lot of people.
Apple Podcasts,
Spotify, blah, 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 all that stuff. You're missing probably the last 2 months or maybe more. But that's why.
Yeah.
So
I meant to ask you about that.
I'm
glad somebody brought it up and noticed it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's just business and
business.
Yeah. I don't know that I can get into it too much more than that.
Okay. All right. Here's one here. As long as we're not talking about a particular subject. Skill unlocked. So what did you think about the traveling lay video you just
Yeah, you
did?
mentioned there were some more questions at the beginning. So,
Yeah. What do you think? Did you like it? I watched
I liked it. It's unique. It's very unique. I know I didn't do it correctly, I guess.
Okay.
And so the original guy,
he reached out to you?
no, he made a video and was kind of, he gave me a hard time, but it's kind of his personality too. He kind of said, "Hey, I do appreciate you sharing it," but he was kind of dissing me quite a bit during the response video, right?
Okay.
But I didn't do his strategy right.
100%.
Yeah, but I'm trying to help out the little guys in the little channels. So, no one's going to see it otherwise, but hopefully I bring them some traffic that way. And sometimes I don't get the strategy right. Like, because a lot of creators, they're heavily involved in their strategy. And this, I think some people don't. So they know all the ins and out of it. Mm-hmm. I watched their video once through. I watch another video. Not all of them are great communicators and teachers. So it's like confusing or,
some questions, yeah.
Yeah,
questions.
And there's always certain situations. Okay, well, what happens if the point is hit and the puck is off? And then, there's all kinds of situations that happen with any strategy. So there's always little nuances. And obviously, I didn't do the strategy right. And there was two things that were probably.
Well, what do you say?
They're bigger than nuances.
You didn't ladder
I just didn't play it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't ladder correctly. I didn't, if a craps number rolls, you'd pull your lay bet down. You wouldn't. So I didn't know what to do if a craps number rolled.
Why did he say that? Because I missed that part, because you did roll a lot of craps numbers or whatever. Why is it important to take the lay bet down after a craps?
Well, the whole point of the strategy is
no repeats.
No repeater, right? So if a crap number rolls, I guess you could bet on the horn, but you're doing a lay. You can't lay against them. So you're looking for 2 repeat numbers. So if a 2, you can't bet against, the 2 repeating. So then if you put it on another number,
so
the 8.
It went to the 8, and then you roll a 3. Then what are you supposed to do? Take the 8 down?
Take it down, wait for the 5 to roll, and then you would lay against the 5 in the hopes that it wouldn't roll a second time.
Okay.
So that's kind of the theory. And there was some people that brought up some good points, which I tried to explain in the video.
Yeah, the math people, I read your comments. Some of the math people went after you about the probability of repeating the number. Right.
So there's 2 different things. There's a probability sequence. What are the chances of something happening twice in a row? And that's, the guy says, hey, it's not based off math, but it kind of is, where, hey, I'm betting that the 5 is not going to repeat back to back. So that's why he's always moving it to the number that just rolled. Because what are the chances? Well, to figure out the chances, you got to know the odds of it rolling, or winning and losing. Mm-hmm. So let's say the 4. There's a 3 out of 36 chance.
Right.
So that is 1 in 12 chance of the 4 rolling. How to figure out how much it is for a sequence would be the 12 times 12. So the chance of the 4 rolling back to back is 1 in 144.
Okay.
So you go, if you were to ask someone, hey, what are the chances of 4 rolling back to back? 144.
So you would expect out of 144, 143 times for it not to happen, but
not to happen back to back.
Okay.
The problem, so that's what I think that's the trigger to make the decision. Well, okay, you go, well, it rolls once. We know that 143 times it shouldn't roll again, and 1 time it will roll again.
Okay.
So that's why he moves the lay to that number. Well, with craps, every roll is independent. So yes, to roll a back-to-back number, or the 4 and 10, is 144, or 1 in 144. But after it rolls the first time, and you move your bet to it,
yes, it goes to the.
It only needs to happen one time for you to lose. Yeah. So now your chance of losing your lay bet is only 1 in 12, because the past is irrelevant once you make the bet. So both are correct. The ideal, because he's using it as a decision, the ideal is that it's unlikely to happen. It is unlikely. It's 144 that it'll happen twice. But once it rolls and then you bet on it, it's only 1 in 12. So, which is still decent, but it can and does happen in my particular video. Mm-hmm. I rolled repeaters and the points, because that's the other part of strategy. You lay against the point, and then you lay against whatever mover number just rolled. So very interesting strategy. And even though I had just a massive roll of repeaters and points, it was like down $200, which is not bad. So if you have a table that's not rolling repeaters, it's a pretty decent dark side strategy. The only thing I don't like about it necessarily is the dealer's constantly moving your lay bet.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. And even keeping up with the amount of the
VIG, yeah.
Bigs,
and he brought up a good point in his rebuttal video was, hey, just give him $5. So he's apparently done this in a live casino. Give him $5 and just say, hey, just work the VIG out of that, whatever. Some casinos would do that, some wouldn't, but it's not the end of the world. But I mean, you did it on an electronic table or bubble craps, no problem in the world. But on a live table, I don't know. It's okay. But I like the idea of it.
I like
no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah,
I get that a lot. I get some flack. I'm like, I'm just trying to. No one's going to watch your stuff. No one's going to know about your strategy. I'm sorry I didn't get it right. I'm just trying to help out the little guy. These little channels, and I do this when I can, every so often, when they got something unique, and I love to share it. And then a lot of times, people don't appreciate it. I know there was a famous blow up from a bigger channel recently, but it's like, I'm trying to give you notoriety. And they say, the news where it's like no, or TV, right? Or
good conflict.
All good presses, or any press is good press or something like that. Yeah. So, like, the controversy will only bring more attention to it, and it's not a bad thing. But in the end, he was like, I appreciate you sharing it, even though, you should have done it correctly. And I'm like,
I'm going to say this.
True. Maybe.
When you're doing your channel, most of the people, I won't say all, but a lot of the people on your channel tend to be middle to low, or not that we don't have some really big ballers out here on your channel with 125, 130,000, whatever you got, but most people are just average people or newbies starting out. And when they say ladder up and you need $5,000, you're going to alienate your audience right from the get-go. Hey, you need 6,000 bankroll to do it, and then the first thing for us little peons like me, we're thinking, how can we scale this down to make it work? And you basically just cut through the minutia or whatever, and go ahead and just make it happen. So I appreciate it when you do that, because I'm not going to bring 5,000 to the table on a session. It's just not practical. It's not real world for me, and because of that, I won't watch people's channels. Although I do watch some bluff videos or occasionally on those, because
that's fun.
But it's not. He's not like talking about strategies or whatever. He's just like,
let's have a blast.
Light the money on fire. Let's go. So
and I think my audience is like, if you're bringing $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 and it's no big deal, and you're right. You're not watching a YouTuber. You play however you dang well please. Like, who cares at that point, right? You don't either and you know how to play, or you just don't care, or whatever. Like, you're not going. It just doesn't matter, right? If you can afford to lose that kind of money. But I'm pretty adamant about. I'm just not a fan of doing negative progressions, just because you have so much at risk to win so little. A lot of them talk about, hey, you walk away with $100, you walk away with $200, you walk away with $50. Well, look at these guys.
Yeah, Jeremy, let me take you to Las Vegas where the guy on the left just bought in for $200.
Okay.
They look like $20 bills. What game are we playing? I didn't even look at the screen.
I can't tell yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so these guys are not big ballers. So yeah, I don't like the negative progression because you can win small amounts, but when you get bit hard. And so
yes.
I think that's what the casino loves, a good negative progression, just because of that. Because they're like, if you think you're gonna, they're playing baccarat.
Okay.
If you think you're gonna, break us by winning $100 for, 20 trips, and then the one time we get you for 10,000, we'll be okay. So, I don't know. It's just a lot of risk to win a little bit. That's why I don't like negative progressions. I'd rather, gamble 100 and get lucky the one time to win 1,000 or whatever, and I don't know. But it's there's no wrong way to do it. So whatever floats your boat and whatever shakes your gambling thing. I just, on my channel, and for me, I'm not going to do a lot of promoting of that. I'll explain it, show it, but I'm always going to say, I don't necessarily, because I don't want people to get in trouble with their finances, and I feel like it's a risky play. Took 100 today and turned a 740 using a combination of your strategies. Okay.
That's cool.
And I mean, these aren't my strategies. These are strategies I show. A lot of them are either dice advice where people submit them to me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Some I've gotten out of books. Some I have just kind of, I wonder if I could do this. It's a little tweak, and so I don't give anyone credit. And then there's some that, I try to show smaller channels or whatever if they got something cool. Hello, little fishy. Instead of going to the casino 10 times and lose 500, wait and go with 5,000 with some plays, skill and luck, get up, get out. Well, I mean, we talked about that last time. It's about timing. The longer you stay is a trouble, but you can save up 5,000 and go, and then you're like, well, I got 5,000. Let me play 500 per shooter, and it go bad, and now you lose 500 in one session instead of enjoying yourself for 10 times. I don't know. Again, personal preference.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, are you following the action here? Are they?
No, not really.
Okay. I've never. I know it's a very simple game, and there's not supposed to be any strategy, right? With this one. Yeah. Basically, you're betting. You bet the banker, the player, or the tie. I think it looks like they have some side bets there as well. But okay.
Yeah, you're dealt closest to 9. So
you win if you're. He's reaching into the bag.
Oh no, he's already rebuying.
Let's see. He might be.
Or is he just trying to get a camera or something out?
I don't know. Let's see what he's doing. Yeah. Let's see. He's got like a little thing. That looks like a wallet.
Yeah, the closest to 9 is the winner. Those are microphones.
Oh, okay. So they're YouTubers.
Yeah, they must be something. They're going to start recording or streaming or something.
Okay.
But yeah, is the dealer going to have closer to 9, or is the player going to have closer to 9? And you don't even get to titch the cards. You don't get to make decisions. It's predetermined. They deal them out. That's the end of it. So it's essentially like playing black or red on the roulette table. Like,
okay.
You make a bet on one side or the other, and then wait.
Is the tie
see if you won.
Push?
Tie's a push. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you could bet on a tie, and it pays more than 1-to-1.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a tie. Yeah. It pays 8-to-1 if you actually bet on a tie and it hits.
And you get to touch the cards, apparently.
Some. There are, I think it's, there, mini baccarat is what I think you see most often, and you don't get to touch the cards. And then there's like, I probably shouldn't be speaking on this because I'm not the expert on the baccarat, but there's full baccarat tables, and those are usually higher limits. And that's where, like you see in the movies, where the players actually get to touch the cards. They'll peel them up. A lot of places will let you destroy them. This one, obviously, you are allowed to look at them. So they're like, he'll get to look and peek, and it just kind of adds fun. It doesn't do anything. It's just some superstition. You'll see some people
he's bending the cards too.
Yeah. They'll throw out the cards because they just won't reuse them. But Yeah, and he's just bending to look. He can't really make any decisions or do anything. It's just fun to kind of reveal. So a lot of people will slowly reveal. So he must be recording or whatever.
Okay. Interesting.
But that's kind of the only fun part of the game, I guess. But again, it has nothing to do with strategy or things you can do. Can you please take away Are you being distracted by the live stream?
Yeah, well, apparently he wants to see you, man. That's why he tuned in.
Well, I'm here, but we're not.
Yeah, but I mean, you're small. He's probably looking at it on the phone. So anyway, you get to peel the cards away. Yeah, here's somebody else is jumping in.
I'm not going to make any comments about their customers or whatever, but right. I'll turn it off.
That could be. I guess be you or me. You or me.
We would be good. Dumb and Dumbers. Maybe we should do that. Go into that room. I don't know.
I'll do it at DiceCon. I'm ready to roll in 113 days with Cole.
Yeah. Again, I think you said he only bought him for 200, but it doesn't look like he's playing. The other guy's definitely playing. Are those a stack of 25s?
Do you have any? Oh, that's not the one I was clicking on. It was this one here. Which casinos now have $5 craps on the Strip? Are there any? I've seen some pretty. Last time I was there in June, they had some low limits on the Strip. $10
on the Strip. On the Strip that I know morning. Advertise. The only one that I know of is Excalibur.
Okay.
They advertise and do $5 craps. Now, if you go a block off the Strip,
Ellis Island. Yeah.
You got Ellis Island. You got the Rio at $3. You got the Palms at $5. Yeah. You got Oyo that does $5. You got there's a couple more options that'll do $5, but I don't know lately. I just know on the actual Strip, Excalibur advertises $5 tables now. So they exist, or a short walk off of the Strip for sure. But I mean, even those at those ends, you're talking $10 tables for sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Once you get to the weekend, which is Friday and Saturday, everything's out the window, right? They'll try to gouge as many visitors as they can. So even Excalibur is going to be 15, 25. Maybe you can find some $10.
Okay.
Fremont, I know the Plaza does $5 a lot, and the Downtown Grand does $5. The other ones, I haven't seen in a $5 table. They usually stick around $10. And someone mentioned $5 stadium craps are roll to win. Almost everyone does $5 stadium or bubble craps.
Okay. So it's there. This was one at the beginning that we skipped over, but he's asking, what's a great craps book for an advanced beginner? And that's from Hugs Sav, I guess. What do you think? I mean, you got dozens of books. I've got probably a dozen or whatever. Which one would you say for an advanced beginner? Quote unquote.
Books don't come out very frequently now, so most of the books are older.
Yes.
A lot of books came out in the 60s, 70s, 80s. So a lot of the information you're going to get from books is old.
Dated.
Yeah. You're going to talk about people... They only have double odds, and there's a lot of great stories and stuff.
6 and the big 6 and the big 8.
Yeah, big 6 and 8. So there's a lot of dated information. Man, I don't know where my books are to kind of look through. If I saw sometimes I can say there's a couple. I would say most of them you're not going to get any new information. I'd say 90% of the books they just explain the math, which are the house odds, math probability, which are good information if you don't know that, but you could do a quick Google search and get that. And then almost all of them will talk about like a 3-point molly and odds. And that's it. 90% of the books, that's it. Which mathematically, that's a great way to play.
Quote unquote, yeah.
Yeah. There's only a couple of authors and that's who I'd recommend, I guess. But man, I don't have him. Larry Essel maybe. Larry, I think is one of them. He's very contrarian, very unique in his books and thoughts. Not that I would agree with everything. John Patrick is kind of that way a little bit. So he's got some good books. And I think he actually has one that's called like Beginner Craps, Advanced Craps. So I might look into a John Patrick book, which I think he made a couple good books. Larry Edel, maybe. But I like his stuff just because it's so different. But again, it's old and it's going to be based off of small table limits. They're talking about dollar craps tables, not $15 tables, and so there's a lot of dated information. There's not a lot of new stuff, so it's tough to recommend books.
And I would be careful because a lot of the books they go from craps and strategies, and then the next thing you know, they're talking about dice influence or dice control and how you just need a little bit of an edge to win. So that would be my cautionary one on that.
Top Hat, what's your question about Silver Legacy?
So what?
Because typically Silver Legacy was the most expensive in Reno, and I never played down there. They're connected to the El Dorado, and in between, one of them has a roll to win table, or used to, but they would literally sit there at $25 and not be an empty table. And I'd say, hey, do you want to play for 10? No. You want to play for 15? No. We'd rather just stand here empty. So I never played there. Within walking distance is the Cal Neva, which is a dump, but it's fun because it's a dump. They probably have $5 craps there. Circus is also attached to the El Dorado and the Legacy. Right. They only have slots though. I think they removed their table games in the pandemic and haven't put it back. About a block away is it's been renamed a couple times, but currently it's the J Resort.
J Resort.
And
okay.
Yeah, I think they removed their craps table and put in stadium craps, but they'll be lower limit. But if you're at the Legacy, hopefully you're there in the morning, and maybe they've lowered them. I don't know what side bets they had either, if any. But usually they were the most expensive in town. Usually when I tell people when they're going to Reno, and I don't know how much you can get around, but if you go to Reno, go to the Atlantis or the Peppermill if you want, lower table limits, because they'll do $3 and $5 craps, and they're great things, but they're an Uber ride away or whatever. But
interesting. Okay. And then they said, hey, don't forget about the $5 craps and roll to win tables on the Strip if you want to play cheap over there. Only thing I don't like about those, on most of all of them, they don't count toward your comps.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Which is strange. Why do you think that is?
I know when they first came out, people were team playing on them. For one, they were hedging, which casinos don't like that. They would bet pass and don't for $100 and then rack up points that way, right? And obviously they figured out, well, hey, we'll just disable the machines so you can't make that. That's why on most machines you can't kind of make those offsetting bets. Some you can still get around, like if you put them up early and turn them off.
Right.
And then you could turn them back on. There's some ways you could still hedge on those machines, but still it's a computer. It could calculate and give you some sort of points. And the biggest problem I think they encountered was like me and you, husband and wife or friends or whatever, especially the one where you're all sitting at the same table.
Okay.
Not necessarily the individual machines, but if we're at the same table,
using the same combinations.
Yeah, you could bet 1,000 on the don't pass. I could bet 1,000 on the pass. Machine doesn't know we're contra-betting. We can't lose except for the 12, and now we're running massive points through. Where at a real table, they'll be like, they'll actually tell you can't play that way. Like if you're standing next to each other, or it's obvious, or your husband and wife with the same last names. They do look for that and will push you back or tell you not to play that way or whatever. But they can't police those electronic machines. So that's usually why they don't have comps. Some of them now have a little bit, or they're much lower
comps.
Yeah, like a slot machine, you might win a point for every $5 on a bubble machine, individual bubble machine. It might tell you, hey, $15 is 1 point, which is, you can play craps at a much lower house edge, so that's fair, I guess, to a degree.
Well, this one here is the Roto book.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Roto.
I liked his book. His was the most professionally put together, and
I would say his is very good.
It's professionally put together, and again, he's going to tell you the same boring math,
but it's the same stuff. Yeah,
it's the same stuff. However, it's put together nicely. He does bring up a good point about a professional player. You're not going there drinking. You understand the math. You don't play. You play with money that you can afford to lose. All that good stuff, right?
The Dice Doctor, he mentioned Sam Grafstein. That is a book I like and would recommend. A little bit different. He's got some different ideas, and he plays a little bit different. So that's a good one, actually.
Mm-hmm. And then if you want some dated stuff, here you go. Take the money and run. I love the graphics in there. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those are the and then there was another little skinny little short one. Those are my top 3 on Mount Rushmore there. Yeah. Let's see what else.
Yeah, if people really care. I know we're over an hour, but if people really care, I'll go grab my box of books. I'll show you a few, I think.
Yeah, you could do that if you want.
I don't know if I'd be able to remember. Those guys are still at the table playing, so they're still still at it.
We haven't looked over to see if they had any buy-ins or anything yet.
No, I missed out. He's got a good stack of green, though.
Look at him. Jeremy is alienating at least 2 people.
Just a little peek in there.
Craftsmaster Journey says, Joe says, hey, if some of us YouTubers would write a book, would people be interested? So what do you think? I think you would, but I think it's going to be all over the place because everybody's kind of got their own thing. Like Joe and Craftsmaster Journey. He's got a certain way to play. In fact, I was looking at one of either his comments, Joe's comments, or something on Facebook. It's talking about 600 and then regressing 660 and then regressing down to 66 and going big, going home. And then there's other people going to talk about dice control and dice influence, and other YouTubers are going to talk about, hey, playing on a cruise to win a free cruise, with Brian and everything. I don't know if y'all would ever. I don't know if you could get everybody on the same page enough to literally on a page to do that, but yeah. And then you got the Casino Quest guys and a bunch of the other ones. So I don't know if they.
I would say I thought about it. I've written some. I could probably move some books that it might be worth it, but I mean, how many books are we talking about? Like, could I sell 10,000 books?
Mm-hmm.
And a book is what, $10? Maybe it's $20. I'm making a couple bucks off of that. Yeah. If I go with a publisher, if it's, I'm not downgrading $10,000 or $5,000, but that's like a one-time thing over years of selling the book. Like, there's just not the mass appeal for craps books to make it worth it. Now, people could put it out and, as a PDF or sell it for $10. I think that would be awesome. And I think we should, and I would do it if I wasn't lazy enough. But, there's a lot of great YouTubers with great perspectives, unique perspectives that I think people would be interested, at least their fan base. And that's kind of the problem. That's the limiting factor, right? Because you're not going to get a real publisher to push you out there and get you in the mainstream. It's just not going to happen. So now you're going, okay, who am I selling to? I'm selling to on YouTube. If you got 1,000 subscribers, we're going to sell 100 books.
Yeah.
Or, even me, I've got a lot, but there's no way, out of 130,000 subscribers, I may have 10,000 maybe active viewers. And of those, how many are going to buy a book? 10% maybe, if I'm, maybe 1,000. not that it's about sales, it's just kind of about getting information out there. But so if it's about getting information out there, I'd love to see some of these guys put out their unique thing. Now, I know some of the better selling books are the dice control books. So, and there's a lot of guys in the community that kind of do that kind of stuff. So they could do that. But again, how different is it from what's already been said? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Probably in their world, they know, and they could say, you know, we're very different. We approach dice control very differently. So it would be worth putting out. But yeah, just a lot hasn't come out in the last decade or so.
And then this one here said the book you found your favorite strategy in is right. He can't really remember the dealer's name.
He's I've proofread his book. He hasn't put it out.
Okay.
But yeah, he didn't have a book.
No book yet.
There was a comment that I wanted to. Oh, this was a good one.
Yeah,
I find with super low minimums, you get a lot of bad etiquette. True, which ends up taking away from the experience. Finding $10 next to a $5, and 10 is usually, yeah. And so it's careful because people kind of take me out of context a little bit because I always say just say no to $25 tables, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's based off of greed. And what I'm talking about is
they're making plenty of money off of the $10 table.
A $5 table makes plenty of money. They exist for a reason, and some casinos across the country happy to run a $5 game. $10 fine. I'm talking about when the Excalibur is running a $25 game for their customers, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's just pure greed that they're ripping off their customers. Now, you go to the Bellagio, you know, you're paying $500 a night for a room. They want to hire an experience. Yes, there's a place for $25 tables for those who can afford it. And like he's mentioning, you want to get, you know, we don't want the riffraff. We don't want the drunk guys.
No, I had a $15 come bet. Yeah.
Right. So there's usually some etiquette whenever you're risking $1,000 on the table, right, as compared to guys risking $20 on the table. So there is some levels to that. So I'm not opposed to $25 for that experience and whatever. But I'm talking about if your client, your client base can barely afford, a $20 room a night, and now the craps table is $25. Yeah. Come on, boys. So that's what I mean by that. But yeah, usually it is the case. The higher you go up, and that's why a casino should have levels. You have a $5 table, have a $10, $15 table, have a $25 table, so you can accommodate more people, right? If you want more quieter or seemingly better clientele or situations around you, play at the higher limit if you can afford it. So I like having options, not be like, you know what, all of our tables are $25 because this is a Saturday night and I could rip everyone off. So that's kind of where I fall along those lines.
100%. Here's an interesting one. A good, if you had out follow some other cruising YouTubers, travel scouts, and a couple of those guys.
Oh, not today, craps. This is who we're talking about with the moving laybet, which is a strategy that I liked and moves around.
Right. So what I was saying is they always have every YouTube video they have a today's poll question is blah blah blah. But he was saying, hey, what's the average gambler's expected win amount? What do you when you go to the table? What do you want to win? Not in percentages, but in dollars.
I wish we could do a poll on this on the software, but we can't.
It doesn't do a poll.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, but it's a good topic. We should probably do a whole show about it.
Yeah. That would be a good idea.
I'm going to get hammered by, I imagine, guys like Johnny here, because I don't. Some of these guys take it very serious and like, hey, I got a win goal of 200 or 10% and I'm out, in and out, and which I think is generally a smart way to play. And if, you're not just playing on vacation and you're not saving up and, you have to fly across the country, or you have easy access to casinos and can hit it and quit it, it's probably the best way to play. Having said that, I've learned a lot over a long period of time, and I'm still waiting for that professional craps player. With that in mind, I go to have a good time, not necessarily
It's not about the money.
Yeah, as silly as that. And some people are going to be, oh, you got to plan to win.
You're full of crap.
Yeah, you got to go and try to win 500. But I know it's not for lack of trying or wanting or hoping or wishing. It's just the math can't be beat, and sometimes I win and I'm very happy, and sometimes I lose and I try to minimize my losses, and I'm okay with that. So I treat it as an entertainment piece, and so therefore I don't really go and be like, I'm trying to win 20% and out. So I know that would vary greatly with a lot of people. I know it seems like, from my observations, most people, because I see so many people give their money back when they're up.
Right.
Because it seems like most people, it's like double up or nothing.
I like the double up. Double up is my...
Who doesn't like the double up, Jeff?
It's a nice marker. Once you get up, if you can get double, whatever the bankroll you started with, and once you go from there, it's a heck of a thing. And then you have your stop loss. Okay, if I double up, if I get back down to just say it's a $500 bankroll, so you're up 500, you're down to 750, 800. Okay, now it's time to lock in that 250 or whatever. But
we
I
talked about this before. I like those adjustable win. Like, I don't like a win goal that's static. I like adjusting it upwards as you play, and give some room to back up a little bit and then get out. But limiting your loss is okay. I don't know.
He said doubling up is impossible on most days.
Yeah,
I would say, it is.
Yeah, and that's why I see. That's 100%. Why I say it's funny and everyone loves it. But so many people, they're like, I bought it for 1,000, and I'm at 1,600, and I'm still pushing. Like, the chances of you getting to 2,000 it's pretty small, right? It's tough to do. This is a tough game to win a large amount. You don't win jackpots on this game. I mean, you can a little bit with all tall, small, but you don't win jackpots in this game. Like, you can't put in the 88-cent bet, run $100 and get lucky and win $10,000. If you come into a crap state with $1,000 and your goal is 10,000 or even 2,000, it's tough. You're going to need a bunch of long rolls, or you're going to have to be uber aggressive. It's very difficult. But so many people, I don't know where they get that in their mind. Maybe it is left over from the slots, or, you're gambling and jackpot, but I see so many people.
Is a big thing in your mind. Because my big color ups, I love, like, coming in with a few hundred, and then you want to get that pumpkin or a couple pumpkins or whatever, and that makes for a great chip porn photo.
Yeah.
But when you make, like, I think somebody put up there 60%. When you put up, hey, I colored up 60%. Solid, granted, not as sexy. Doesn't sell.
No, it does not sell. 60% does not sell.
Yeah, if you go back to the hotel room or the cabin at night with your wife, is how much? It's like, you want to show me the money.
Lay out all the hundreds.
Yeah, right. wake her up kind of deal. But hey, baby, I won 30%. I'm going back to bed. Or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, the worst thing I see is people that are underfunded, and I don't know what the heck their goals are, because I always see them go to zero. So they'll come to the table, a $15 table, even a $10 table, and they'll buy in for $100, $200. Like, if you just stuck with a pass line bet and grinded away at $10, okay. But no, they're like, let's go across. Let's give me some hot bets, right? And they got 40, 50% of their money on one hand, and and maybe the first shooter's hot, and now they're up to, they won $60.
Absolutely.
Like, do you think they're okay with 60% and they're going to go at 160? Heck no. They're like, for whatever reason, they're like, I need to win $1,000 today. I'm like, boy, you came in with $100. You came in with $200. Like, if you've doubled it, you've had a great day. But it's so hard.
Awesome day,
yeah, it's so hard in your mind. Like, okay, $100, and now I'm to 130. 30% on your money is good. Like, you can't get that in the stock market or whatever.
Right? 10 to 20.
Yeah,
that's
there
what
you
it
go.
was. He was saying the same thing. Yeah.
People can't. They're like, $30, that's just the Uber ride home. It's like, sorry, son, you brought it. You came in with 100. If you want 20% to mean something to you, you know, come in with 20,000, where you win $8,000. Or no, I guess it would be 4,000. Would be 4,000. Now we're getting somewhere. Because 20-30% is substantial, but in most gamblers' mind, it isn't. They're just like unrealistic expectations is definitely an episode we should talk about.
Yeah, and again, the aggressiveness. Top Hat is, you know, a very aggressive guy and doubling up and pressing and da-da-da-da.
I really have no problem with that. Like, and some people, you know, it's just a mental thing. Like, hey, I'm buying in for 1,000. My stop loss is 500. If I get down to 500, I leave. That's fine. It's the same thing as someone goes, I'm coming in with 500, and once I get to 0, I'm leaving. It's the same thing, right? But mentally, people are like, well, I'm preserving some of my money. No, you're not. You're both willing to lose the $500. So I don't care about what you do, your mental tricks and stuff like that. Nor do I care if you're like, I'm coming to gamble. Mm-hmm. I got $500. If I walk away with 0, I don't care, but I'm trying to win 2,000. If it doesn't happen, I'm fine with that. And again, a lot of that has to do with the situation. Like, can you only go twice a year?
Yeah, exactly. So like when I get, you know, I'll go into Biloxi or whatever, go to Vegas, I'll get up, you know, the first night and be up $500 or double my bankroll or triple even sometimes. And then you're like, man, this is a great trip and all. And then what happens? You go to a different casino and you're like, oh, I'll buy in for this and see if I can take this 500 and double up. And that's when you start law averages. Even if you go to a different casino, different tables, different dealers, whatever, seems like the law of averages kind of hits you more and more. But it's kind of weird, you know. It's kind of, I guess you figure, and this is the way I figure. Maybe people feel differently. But when I go and I'm thinking, okay, why can't I win every time, right? Because all these other people are playing and losing at the same time. Why can't I, in my little time of play, be in the 40% time when you can win or whatever, you know, or the 30% or the 20% where you can win? Why can't it just be specialized to me? Because everybody else has been losing. So you start going through those kind of psycho things too.
Hey, we got a solution for you, Jim.
What's that?
Just convert it all to single $1 bills. And then you can still do the swim thing with the wife. Maybe she won't notice that they're only singles.
Yeah, because she does not sleep with her contacts in. So
there you go. You just, honey, this is U.S. currency. Lots of them.
And we said at the beginning of the show, I'm Mr. Bachelor this week, so I got to have a plan this week when she comes home to do some laundry.
This is actually a good point. Bluff Style will end up in tears. Yeah, he's an entertainer, folks.
Yeah,
and I find him entertaining.
Channel. Yeah,
this is not something you want to base it off. Now, if you can get the backing and the sponsors and YouTube revenue, hey, more power to you. But yeah, it's kind of a fair point.
Yeah, and Tim says I usually buy him for 3 if he's up 4 to 5.
Okay.
Depends on how the table, how annoying the players are, right?
Okay, so he doesn't quite go for a double up, but, you know.
Yeah. Woo, here's it. Again, he said a month ago he went from 3 to 15 with a woman's first time rolling. See, now that's the kind when you have the long roll and you hit the ATS.
Yeah.
That's when you get the extra squeeze for the juice on that one, 100%. Yeah, that's why you say we don't have a bonus ball or whatever.
I don't know who this is, but I love his handle. He's the Color Up Man.
There you go. Hello.
I don't know if he has a channel. He's got a little Got Craps icon.
Got a YouTube thing.
Yeah, I may have to check that out. The Color Up Man.
Pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see. And again, bankroll, you know, John always talks about those big things that are so important to win and bankroll. And that's really for every book and every YouTuber if you're serious. But if you don't have the bankroll, even at a low minimum table, you're not going to last for
Yeah,
very
we talk about having enough for 10 shooters and that sort of thing. Like, under bankroll is the biggest factor and people losing because the game there's too many ups and downs.
Yep. Yeah, very much so. Let's see. Yeah, Top Hat says he's got to bring in. If his spread is 300, he's going 3K. He's bringing 3K with him, so 10 shooters. Yeah, that's a different world for me. And again, that's why I like playing the way I play, and the way the Roto book recommends is.
This is an interesting one.
You don't have a lot of money out on the table.
And I know I've gone back and forth with 40 Craps because I think he has a unbeatable strategy, but he says I'm crazy to think that it's more plausible to become a professional craps player, I guess, than a professional poker player. And then Skill and Luck said, you can become a craps expert, but a professional is hard to achieve. Yeah. So Google how many professional poker players there are.
How many are there?
I don't know.
I'll Google it.
You can Google it.
Yeah.
You can get a list. You can get a names. You can get their lifetime's earnings. It's not as unicorn as you would think. I would say there's hundreds, probably thousands of documented
professionals.
AI
estimates that there are full-time professional poker players are low, often cited around 3,000 in the United States. Semi-professionals making some money, maybe closer to 30,000.
Okay, so 3,000 says AI, and we all can't trust AI. Yeah. And what does it say? How many professional craps players are? Like sometimes they throw in like some guys with some hyperbole, like the Dominator, which had a little mockumentary made about him, and there's some claims and stuff. But they're selling courses, and I mean, like my name could get thrown in as a professional craps, but I'm not. I mean, I make my money off of YouTube and my membership and affiliate sales and sponsorships. But yeah, very difficult on a negative EV game. When we're talking professional, we're talking that's your income, which means guess what? You can't just slide. You have to report earnings, show expenses, pay for your LLC. Yeah. You gotta file your taxes. You gotta pay the man if you're a professional. There's a lot involved.
So yeah, I'll tell you this: when I Googled it, how many professional craps players are there? I didn't even get the AI thing at the beginning, so AI must not even think it
went on tilt.
When I Google it, let me see if I.
Let me just tell you, AI. It is not a thing. There are a couple guys who've contacted me. Hey, I'm a professional. I could do it.
I forced it. It says statistically there are effectively 0 in bold black letters professional craps players because the game has a mathematical guaranteed house edge. Unlike poker, which is played against other people, or blackjack where card counting can flip the odds, craps outcomes are based on independent dice rolls and cannot be reliably influenced over the long term. So there you go.
I never made a claim that the game could be beat. It doesn't have to be beaten. Just know how to extract money. If you know how to extract money, you can beat it. I don't know. Those seem like one and the same. I'd have to have a longer conversation with you to figure out kind of where that breaks down. But I kind of get those people contact me. What I was saying is they say, hey, I'm a professional. I'm like, okay, cool. Would you care to verify? Show me some information. Show some win. Well, I don't really keep a log. You're done. You're done. Yeah. Like there's no hopes and dreams there. You gotta log this stuff, right? I can every time I go, I win $2,000. Go more. If you feel like you can do that, go every day. Go twice a day. Go to multiple casinos. You're gonna have here's a tricky one. So we know poker can be beaten because the nice thing about poker is you play in other dummies. Right. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying we're playing humans, and the professionals, they feed on the locals, the beginners, They know how to just take your money as an experienced player and non-experienced player. Once they get higher and higher stakes, they start playing each other. Professional gets professional. They don't like that so much. They're looking for good games where they're basically being a vulture on poor players. So that's how they make the money. All the money funnels up in poker, but it's very doable. But if you can Google, I'm not sure what AI client is pulling up, but check out blackjack players. Blackjack players is also something where there is a number of verifiable professional blackjack players, because it was a game, not so much anymore because of the things where you could get a mathematical advantage in the game. And that's why professionals existed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Top Hat. Yeah, Top Hat has seen a fair share of the guys. It's at least once a year, and they want to challenge me, and then they have a lot of excuses why they don't end up challenging me. It's usually involved around dice control, which is, I agree. If you can dice control, and I know some people don't like control, maybe influence, and you could gain a positive expected value that way.
Yeah, I'm seeing how many professional blackjack players are there.
Yeah. I mean, there's not going to be 3,000 like they listed for poker, but there were verifiable.
More than 1,000. The Wizard of Oz odds says back in 2017, more than 1,000, less than 5,000.
Okay. But it is a thing, because you could gain a mathematical.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm not saying craps players can have great years and maybe even a great decade. But we're talking about making a living. And not that you have to be professional for the rest of your life or anything. You can have a career that lasts 5-10 years, but you do not measure your success for how much money you make. That's deep.
Yeah.
In a gambling game, I don't know how else you measure it. That you have a good time, that you're nice. You got to measure it by. I mean, if you're not making money, you're not winning. You're not beating the game. So that's the success of the game. Unless
you're winning a free cruise.
Yeah, there are professional gamblers who find, new games get put in the casinos. The math is done wrong. They take advantage of it. There's some versions of video poker where there is a positive EV. There is taking advantage of weak dealers who pay improperly for a period of time. So you combine all these games, you combine comp value, and, they do it for a living. Yeah. It's a thing.
It is. Yeah.
Tough. It's tough, but it's a thing.
It's to me, the whole thing is, it's why if you spend as much time in your real world as you do trying to, become a dice influencer or whatever the sport is, poker or blackjack, if you did that, you wouldn't, need to worry about sitting down and becoming a professional or whatever.
Yeah, you don't need to convince me. You don't need to convince Color Up and YouTube. I mean, just go do it, right? And
just go do it or whatever if you need to, and make it happen. But anyway, yeah, dice influencer.
I guess he's not in the dice influencer camp.
Oh, maybe he's and probably doesn't like controller either. So, but it's okay. Hey, and like I said, I'm not rooting against him. If you're shooting at the table and I have money on the table, my come bets, I want repeating. I'll be happy playing my stupid little way, winning. However I can, right? So, Tom saying. Nick
the Greet was a don't player. Yeah, I've read that he was a don't player. Was he a pro? He was a gambler. Pull him up real quick if you can.
Yeah. Nick the Greek?
I think he's famous for losing millions. I don't know if he committed suicide, but he was a huge gambler, and it may have been mostly on sports. He did play and love craps, but he wasn't. He never claimed or was never a professional craps player. I believe he was more of a card player.
Oh, he's really old.
Yeah.
He's been
from the
dead
60s,
since,
right?
Yeah, he's been dead since 66. I was born in 67.
Okay.
Whereas the kids say nowadays, 67. All right. Wealthy parents.
He went from rags to riches 75 times and is estimated during his gambling career he won and lost over $500 million. The legendary gambler, died penniless.
Wow.
I mean, that's not necessarily that he was good at gambling or had a successful career. That's more of an addiction or money management problem or whatever.
Like Mr. Z. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of guys who have won money, and that kind of goes to being a professional. Like, it's one thing to win; it's one thing to do it as a living and keep consistent at it. But this is not that we had a topic, but it's getting late. I see Jim's constantly yawning, and
you would yawn too if you were spent the weekend with 5,500 kids.
Well, that's why I don't do it.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a big time at our DECA conference. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning. So, and my wife's been out of town, and these dogs have been getting me up at night, and little Jimmy's not getting any sleep. And then next weekend, I got another big out of town conference for our leadership workshop. So, but the good news is, Trash to Cash, one can make a difference, is expanding. Every day I'm leaving with more cans. And I have people come up to me and say, Mr.
You got minions bringing you cans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The kids are bringing me cans. Like, people who aren't even my students come around and I said, are you the teacher who recycles cans? I said, that is me. Yeah. So, and you watch and see. That's
we got to check in.
ATS. Yeah.
On the.
Let me take you live.
There you go, Joe.
To the Palms at the Black.
No, Plaza.
Plaza. I'm sorry, at the Plaza. And we are going very fast. It takes a hit. Oh, busted. It's just that quick.
He's playing black chips there. It looks like he's got his phone out YouTubing.
Game. Yeah, he's YouTubing. It's a very fast game.
So for those who came in late, we had this up earlier and we was just talking about it, but the Plaza Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, is now streaming not 24 hours, but a lot of the hours of many days.
And they have the
games.
room for it, right? It's kind of like a streaming
it's like a dedicated room where they're streaming blackjack. We saw Baccarat earlier where they kept flipping to a guy who was winning on slots and stuff like that. And then you as a streamer, I guess, can go and kind of film yourself too.
So we have to do that at DiceCon this year, as long as the table minimums aren't too high.
Yeah, I haven't seen a bet below 25 tonight, but I don't.
Even on the roulette?
What was the roulette guy? I don't know. They use chips, so I don't know what denominations.
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, they had guys playing slots, some roulette action, more slots, and they were just kind of flipping around the table. There's the guy. Mm-hmm. Oh, he must have just walked away. Let me back up, see if. Yeah, like who knows what those denominations for those chips are?
Right. Yeah, you can't.
Could be $2. Could be $100.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a channel that you might be interested in checking out. But the point of this was, I think you're going to see more and more of this live action from a casino, which I should have been ahead of the game and got into it years ago because I saw the vision. I'm like, listen, people are interested in seeing live action. It's a thing.
You are the Steve Jobs of
no, I'm not.
Crabs.
I'm the forgotten name who had an idea and didn't follow through and. The trash heaps of history.
Don't beat yourself up there.
Tom said, thanks for the easy Sunday night session. Looking forward. Yeah, it is fun to kind of just hang out and chat without a theme sometimes. Looking forward to that color up casino table. Yeah. Not anytime soon, but how cool would that be to have like a little speakeasy that has just like one table.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it has, I don't know, a billiard table, or no. It just has one craps table, maybe two craps tables, and that's all there is to it. You just have sports, TVs you can watch. It's a sports bar with a couple craps tables, and how awesome would that be?
You're starting to
no
sound
women
like
allowed.
Oh my
No.
goodness.
I love the women players, but it, you don't see that many of them, so it's almost like you could pull that off. It would definitely be a meat factory in the Color Up Club, probably.
Yeah, I think the women in there need to be dancing. So,
Jim, that's way more sexist.
I'm teasing. No, they could be dealing too.
Yeah,
the cowgirls or whatever they call them. Not the cowgirls. It's not
the
the
Binion
cowgirls.
Are they not the cowgirls?
Are they cowgirls?
I don't know.
Who knows what the name of the before I get out of
I know
here?
that, I know. Yeah, Jim's got to know. I know the Stevens property all has dancing dealers.
Yeah, they got to go.
Do they still do those pull tabs for charity? I know the Midwest. I hear that my favorite podcast. You can bet on that podcast. They're always talking about pull tabs because they're up. One of them's up in Minnesota now. So I know in the North or the Midwest, pull tabs was a popular thing. But I've only ever heard of them. I have no idea what they are or anything about them. Pull tabs at church carnivals. Yeah, I don't know what pull tabs are. So I guess it's almost like a scratch off. Yeah, I really have no idea about it, but I think they're called the Cowgirls.
Yeah, they are the Cowgirl. Binion Cowgirl Dealers. Binion Cowgirl Dealers.
Woo. Yeah, last DiceCon, they were like, sorry, they're not available to deal to you guys, so we missed out. I think like 2 years ago, though, we had a table reserved with the Cowgirls.
We had a few. And then we had the, I don't know, what's the opposite of a cowgirl?
Cowboy.
All right, how about opposite of a... That was pretty funny. What's the opposite of a cowgirl dealer who's still a girl? I don't know.
A what? A cowgirl that's still a girl?
A cowgirl dealer who's not a cowgirl, meaning she's not as glamorous as or as pretty as.
So we had Angela on a couple podcasts ago, and I think she called it
the glamour age or something.
Dancing dealer maybe, or
party girl.
Party pit
something.
Dealer.
Yeah, party pit. Yeah,
was one thing she mentioned.
That era has gone. I need to go back and watch that.
We got more dad jokks. They're utterly amazing. Those girls.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
get a little cow pun. Yeah.
This is a
these
fast
jokes write
action.
themselves.
Yeah, fast action show here. Dancing dealers is what Ollie said.
Yeah.
Dancing dealers. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting. But these are... Is that the proper pace of play for blackjack? How many hands can you think this lady get it in an hour?
As many as she can.
Yeah, I know she wants a lot.
Just like in all casino games, they want
fast. Yeah.
The churn is better. That the margins could be small because if you do perfect strategy, I think the house edge is below 1%.
Hit again.
So if you're a card counter, that's where you can give it a positive expected value. But yeah, it's a good game at under 1%, I believe.
Okay.
If you're playing it properly, according to the mathematical book, which I don't know at all. I know it like maybe 90% of the way there, but I don't make all the right decisions. Oh, she's counting out.
Yeah, I think he's going to win this time.
Oh yeah, because she stopped at 17.
Yeah.
She stands on all 17s. Okay. It's 3-2.
Yeah.
I don't know what some of the rules are. Surrender and all those other. There's a bunch of rules that makes it a even better game. I'm not that into blackjack, so I don't know.
Interesting. So
is it though?
He's staying at a 12, a 10, and a 2.
12 and above. If the dealer has below a 6, I think you're supposed to.
You get the face card, you'll get rammed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
7, 8. My problem is I can't add fast enough.
Well, he got a 21, so he's good.
Yeah, he won on that one. watching that game
Okay,
before we got
anyway.
here.
She swiped that lost fast. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Yeah, what's the count right now? Well, at least they're not playing. They're playing out of a hand shuffled deck instead of a mixer. So he can potentially count cards here. Just depends on how far into the deck do they let him play before they reshuffle. So
and say, hey, you need to walk away. You want again?
He's doing a little taking some back and pressing.
Yeah,
let's see how big he can get. Oh, he got 21 on that big hand.
He got it.
Oh, it looks like it's back to Vegas Pauly C is playing.
Okay.
He's the one who invited me. Well, his
right?
business partner invited me to the Venetian, but I'm like, he's like, you gotta kind of be a high roller to film
Hang out there. Okay. Well, he definitely
right.
colored up.
We'll see. We'll see if he keeps pressing. What's he gonna do? He's gonna same bet that one.
Yeah, but that's a big bet out there.
It's a healthy bet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $700. 18 push.
Yeah.
Let's see if he wins this $800 bet. Oh, 19. That's pretty good. 12, 13, 19.
Push again. His pushes are terrible.
Oh. I don't even know what he has there.
He's got
17? 18.
He's got an ace, a 2, and a 5.
Oh, no. We lost to the 19. There goes that $800. Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we don't know what the next show is, but we'll let you know. I should. Yeah, I'll be back.
What's happening for the next show? Yeah, what they're saying is, hey, we want a topic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll be here next week. I'll have a topic. I can only be lazy so many times and just do these.
Okay.
These wing up.
Well, hard to believe we went an hour and 46 minutes. That's crazy.
That's what happens when you're talking bull crap.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, there was a comment about Joe Rogan on there. I meant to pull that one up. Somebody said, when is Joe Rogan? Where's it at? Oh, I can't find it now. Yeah, he said something
Dancing girls, craps, and free drinks. His kind of casino.
There you go. Yeah, but Joe Rogan will maybe he'll invite you. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. I bet they would tend to be a little more forgiving on the counting here, at least this close to open, to draw in more people.
Maybe.
It's a tactic. Well, they're shuffling. How many decks is that? Is that 8 decks or 6 decks? I don't know.
I have no idea. That is beyond me.
Oh, I don't even have the feed up. I'm over here watching it, and I'm like, you can't see what.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I got distracted. Okay, let's end this sucker.
Yes.
Thanks for everyone watching. Skill and Luck, thank you. It is fun to have you here and for having all of you guys participate.
It's great having Todd
I do 2 cents.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, we will see you next week with hopefully a theme and topic that might be a little more interesting than us just shooting the breeze. But it's fun to do this every once in a while, and appreciate you guys joining us as we do it. So, till next week, Jim, anything?
No, what are you going to say? Good luck at coloring up, right? Or what is it? Something like that, right?